7 to Karachi. Yes, Uday.
All right, Brian, thank you for joining us with those details. A plea seeking 33% reservation for women in the Delhi High Court Bar Council and Delhi District Court Bar Councils has been given. Issues specific to women empowerment can only be effectively addressed by women leaders, said Advocate Sanskriti Shakuntala Gupta, who is one of the petitioners in the matter concerning reservation for women at the bar. While exclusively speaking with NewsX, Ms. Gupta also emphasized on the day-to-day needs faced by women lawyers in courts of the country.
Sharma with you. Today I am talking about a very important issue. The issue is of women empowerment. This issue is doing rounds in the courts of the country these days as a petition has been filed in the Supreme Court over the reservation of women in the bar, and that is the 33% reservation, and in the bar associations, in the High Court Bar Association, lower courts Bar Association, among others. We have with us the counsel for the petitioner, Advocate Sanskriti, and we'll ask her what is this petition all about, what are their demands. Sanskriti, very welcome to NewsX first, and then I ask you what it is there in the Supreme Court which you have filed.
So originally the PIL was filed by us, Ms. Shobha Gupta and Sanskriti Shakuntala Gupta in the Delhi High Court. What we are seeking is 33% reservation in the bar associations of district courts as well as the Bar Council of Delhi. Now the very basic purpose behind this, shortly and crisply put, is women empowerment. But the larger and the deeper purpose that it seeks to solve are that issues that are inherent to women, such as sanitation, toilets, breaks during lactation periods, menstruation problems. All of these issues, not just these but also others, are issues that cannot alone be handled by men in the council. We require a seat for women at the table to be able to address these issues not only effectively but also for the long term, and to inspire the next generation of women that come after us to be able to do that in the same confidence and same manner that we do. And it is a humble request that I make to everybody watching this: do not assume that when you watch us, you assume that every woman like me is a privileged woman. I, and maybe 2% or 5% of the women in the Delhi High Court and the Supreme Court, do not constitute the majority of women who are practicing in the daily trial courts. Right? And their issues cannot be solved by 15 men sitting in a council. Right? You need to give women a seat at the table now for us to be able to come up with our problems. Right? Now, I'll give you a very small example. Tell me a young intern who walks into a court, has a problem of, let's say, somebody mistreats her. She doesn't have any man, like she doesn't have any woman in the council to go speak to about it, right? So, but this is where it's important that we have all these things, right? Not just that, but also to make our councils more inclusive. We need to have that, and don't just give us nominal roles like lady bar executive member. We need better roles like treasurer, secretary, at least something that has, some power in it, so we can make a change.
You have come up here in the Supreme Court.
We actually did come up in the Delhi High Court, where an interim order was passed. The interim order stated that the Bar Council, the existing Bar Council of the Delhi High Court, will come back with their reply. But in the interim, the elections had been announced for 19th October. Hence, we filed the SLP.
Especially petition here
in the Supreme Court, wherein it was directed that the reservation will take place. The GBM, which is the General Body Meeting, which was requested by the Bar Council of Delhi, was supposed to take place in the Delhi High Court, and they were supposed to come up with the reservation, the number of seats they're going to be reserving for women.
Right.
What did actually end up happening is a sad reality of the country we live in, but also the courts we practice in. Either the GBM did end up failing. It failed because of a sheer, one reason that I can point out for the failing of the GBM is the question that was asked in the GBM did not stick to the agenda that was formulated. What was asked in the GBM was whether reservations should take place, but what the Supreme Court had initially and actually directed was which seats should be reserved for women.
Okay.
So there was a discrepancy as to that, which led to the failure of the GBM as far as my understanding of this goes. So now, today the matter was listed, but Justice Suryakant was on leave, soon to come up now as and when.
Well, so what are the pointers? What are your basic demands? If we point out like 1, 2, 3, 4, these are demands, and this is
There
how
is-
you are going to execute it. And
so what
are your expectations out of this court or the High Court in this?
We expect the courts, and in fact, we are grateful to the courts for being so forthcoming and understanding the issues that we are facing and understanding the issues that we are representing in the courts through our petition. They've been more than understanding and more than forthcoming with us, both here in the Supreme Court as well as in our Honorable Delhi High Court. What is the major demand, if you ask me? It is to reserve 33% seats for women in the bar council. So you have 15 members in one council. We are saying that you give us at least 4 to 5 seats for women exclusively on the council, right? Because there are issues, again, like I said, issues that need to be addressed by women, for women, to women. So that is the idea. I mean, you have your Gandhian Ambedkar ideology of equal representation. You have Article 14 that says that sometimes to give equal representation means you have to give reservation to women. How will you empower? Today, you and I start running a race. I tell you, okay, you're going to run from 100 meters, but I'm going to run from 200 meters in the race. Which one of us is likely to win? When you and I don't stand on an equal footing, how are we supposed to compete on an equal footing? If you start the race early than me, if we've had generations of not just trauma but also gender pay gap, we've had exploitation, other issues that you rightly as a journalist would know and will point out. So lack of parity, lack of education. Till now, we're still dealing with very basic third world problems like female feticide. How are you supposed to empower women in higher places if you don't reserve seats for them?
Thank you very much, Advocate Sanskriti, for
Thank you for your time.
putting out things in detail, in perspective for our viewers at NewsX. With the video journalist Himanshu, this is Sambhav Sharma.